Well, Joe Kersey here on Friday the 13th, 2015 here about getting on toward 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time. Now, after the wonderful evening on the 11th with Liz, our wonderful, wonderful neighbor Liz concluded, obviously life moved on. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily always obviously, but fortunately in our case, life moved on. I got this thing in the mail here, well, either yesterday or 2 days ago. Now, this doesn't really sound like the happiest place on earth for a man, does it? When they hold this little soiree down there on this, well, Saturday, April 18th. So, I guess the men have plenty of warning to GTFOOD. That's get the F out of Dodge on that one. Well, we've just been having a very pleasant, quiet day here on this relatively quite cold day here on Friday the 13th. After that wonderful, wonderful evening with our very wonderful neighbor Liz from across the road. Now this morning, I got a phone call around 9:20 in the morning. I got a phone call from one of these fellows connected with the appraisal work. And he had sent me a form the same day he had met with me up at the corner house, which I duly read and considered and signed, and then I emailed back to him. I mean, he'd sent it to me. He had sent it to me by email. So obviously I printed off some hard copies to save for myself. But then I did then, I signed one of the hard copies and I scanned it and, created a PDF file for it and, sent it to him by email. And I didn't hear anything back from him, so, and it acted like it had gone through. The first time it bounced back at me, but the second time it went through, it seemed. So he calls me today and says, well, he never got anything, or he can't find it, or, I said, fine, well, I'll just resend it to you. Which I did, and it bounced back. So then I figured out a way to reformat it and send it to him in another format. It bounced back. So then I finally got the attachment size down to, because the attachment size has been around 10 megabytes. He says, well, if it's around 10 megabytes, sometimes it won't come through. I said, okay, I can get it down. So I got it down to 688 kilobytes. And still bounced back. So I finally just printed off the hard copies, and I left him a voicemail on his cell phone and said, I'm just going to mail this stuff to you by land mail. So you'll probably get it on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. I said Tuesday, but he actually might get it on Monday. See, this happened to me when I was trying to send some stuff to a governmental agency over in Indiana here about a year or so ago. I think some of these outfits still operate on Windows XP. And if you have an attachment, see, I had emailed this guy at this address before with just a standard email, and he replied back. There was no problem with that. I think it's when you have an attachment coming in from outside their system that the system thinks you're somehow trying to, attack them or something, and refuses anything an attachment on it. But I don't see how an engineering and appraisal firm can do business that way. I suppose unless most of the guys that they're dealing with are also using Windows XP formats. What do I know? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. In any case, that was my experience this morning. So, all part of life's rich tapestry. So other than that, it was 0 degrees Fahrenheit there this morning. I think we're up to about 18 now. So, woohoo!
Yeah.
So that's about it. So on that note, I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers. Paul's doing a little periungual cleansing there.